Today is Tuesday, November the 21st. This calf was born on Sunday. He's got a bad tendon on his right front foot from birth. They come out through the birth canal and the hoof gets twisted over backwards and injures the tendon, and they can't get up. Being he couldn't get up to nurse off Mom, I had to carry him out of the bush and get him up to the calf barn and tube feed him after 3 hours that he was bawling to eat, and I couldn't get him to stand. And Mom here, without grain, I can't get closer than 10 feet to her, and even with grain, if I touch her, she'll stampede me. So he was left in the barn on straw overnight under a heat lamp, and the next morning Mom had come out of the bush, and the calf had come out of the calf barn and was laying with Mom. I was skeptical whether he was nursing or not, because Mom's udder was so full and I couldn't get a good look at if any of the teats have been sucked on. But from the 10-foot distance, one tit looked smaller than the rest of them and looked a little bit shinier than the rest of them and not as wrinkled. So, being he's never bawled, that he's hungry, and by the looks of her udder this morning, 3 teats are a lot cleaner looking, not so dry looking, and he's not bawling, and he's very alert, but he's still having trouble getting up onto his feet. He gets his back end up right away, but he's on his front knees, and he takes 2 or 3 attempts to get his front end up. And but he manages. And Mom here was a bottle calf that I bought in March. Would be 4 years ago, this past March. She lost her first calf in a snowstorm on Valentine's Day in 2021, I believe it was. And she never got pregnant last year, but I seen the bull attempting to breed her last February, very end of February and into March, early part of March. You see him hiding back there? Yeah, he's hiding back there. I like to see him suck so I know for sure, but because I have not yet seen him suck. Is that good grain, Mama? Eh? Is that good grain? Eh? Is that good grain? Eh? Is that good grain? Is that good grain, Mama? Where is he? He's over there. Yeah, he's right there. He's still standing right there. So, if he hasn't been eating, he wouldn't be this alert and standing and everything else, and he's not bawling, he's hungry. So even if he just gets up and nurses for a short time and then a few minutes, a little while later nurses again a little bit, he seems quite content. But this is a common issue at birth. If the hoof gets bent over and stuck in the canal coming out, I've seen videos where both front feet were when they try and stand up, the ankle folds over and they're walking on their ankles. Whereas when they're first born, they can't get up on their feet because it hurts. And for the first 24 hours, he didn't move much at all. I'm sure he came out of the barn, but just outside the door. And then yesterday, Mom had walked him up to the bottom of that hill right there, right here. And then they were laying down side by side. And I walked down there. And being that Mom is a little skittish, I walk up to Mom and she got up and started walking up the hill. And then the calf got up and started following Mom behind. And I could watch, and it was hit and miss whether his hoof planted flat on the ground on each step or whether it folded over and he was on his ankle. And it was hit and miss, like every second or third step he would fold over. But he didn't lose his balance and fall like he was previously. He'd get up and for 4 or 5 seconds and he would do a nosedive. Oh, is that him gonna go suck now? No. Come on, little one, go suck. Yeah, go and nurse on Mama. Nurse on Mama. Hey, girl. Whoop. Stumbled there a bit because he's standing on that. He's got his hoof down flat, but he's not putting a lot of weight on it. Just wish he wouldn't have walked over in that soft spot because they should stay on hard ground. And there's not much bedding here, so it's fairly good. When in that kind of condition, they should be on hard ground without deep bedding. But over there's manure and old hay, and it's quite deep there and soft, and it's not really a good place for him to be. I'd like him to be just up front here where it's more solid. He was born down in that bush way down there in the back corner. Hey, Mama. You're a good mama, eh? Yes, you are. You're a good mama. Oh, he laid down. Give you a whole gallon of grain, eh? That was good stuff. Hey, Mama. Number 37, I think is her number. No, 35. Oops. I think I made a mistake. 35. I'll have to go into the Cattle Association's website and edit that. I put her down as number 37 when she's number 35. My mistake. I thought she was 37. When I registered his birth certificate. I think I can still go in and edit it yet. I hope. He's number 52, green tag. And the other ear's got his RFID tag number. That's required by law. So he's doing a lot better. Like the first night there, I had to tube feed him because he wouldn't suck. When I had him in the bush, he was sucking on my finger, but he would not suck a bottle of colostrum. And after 3 hours, I had to get colostrum into him, and Mum was back in the bush back there, and I knew there was no way I was going to get him to stand and nurse, even if she did come up. And Mum wouldn't let me touch her to help the calf, so I know that for a fact. She's a good cow. She's a good, and but she's skittish. I raised her as a bottle calf. Her and along with another exact same one from the same farm. It's an Angus cross, and I lost her partner that I raised as a bottle calf this past summer. She went down in a rainstorm on the hill here. I don't know whether she slipped on the hill and went down and she damaged her spine or what, but I picked her up with the forklift the first day she went down, and she stood on her feet. She was a little bit unstable for a few minutes, but then she trucked off grazing. And I watched her for a few hours till it got dark, and she seemed to be doing fine. The next morning she was down there in the field, down, and I tried to lift her up again with the forklift, and she would not stand, no how. And it was too wet to get down there with a boom truck to put her in the back of the dump box to bring her up into the yard where it's more solid ground, because it rained every day here for months, all summer. And I finally got a few days after about 2 weeks of her down there, carrying hay down to her and feed and water and everything else down that steep hill. I finally got it dry enough that I was able to go down there with the boom truck, load her in the back, and bring her up and come back out. And I put her up by the hay bales out front, and she lasted another week or so, and she passed away. And I was treating her with medications after medications, and she started to respond and look like she was doing better, and then all of a sudden, boom, she passed away. And she was a fantastic cow. She was a great mom. She took on another cow's calf that didn't have enough milk for her calf, and but after she passed away, the cow whose calf that she was nursing as well took her calf on and nursed her calf after she passed away, which I found really amazing. It was almost like, okay, you looked after my baby when I couldn't have enough milk, so I'll take on yours now. And she nursed him right till we weaned him. Good mama. Yeah, good mama. Good mama. Good mama. Yes, good mama. Good mama. Yes. Really good mama. Yeah. Really good mama. You got a nice baby there. Yeah, you got a nice baby there. Yeah, you got a nice baby. Do you want some more grain? Eh? Do you want some more grain? Okay, let's go get you some more grain. Let's go get you some more grain. Oh, my back and legs have been so painful this summer with all the dampness and stuff that it's been impossible to do anything. It's taken everything I've got in me. And we'll give her another 3/4 of a gallon. Because she hasn't had any grain at all for weeks. And all the other cows are out grazing in the pasture right now. So she doesn't have to fight for it. Hey, Mama. There you go, girl. There you go. Yeah, there you go. And Mama will let me do anything with her baby. She doesn't mind. She kind of moves at me a little bit. Hey. Hey, big guy. I don't know if I'm zoomed in or out here. Oop. Shania, stop it. Hey, cut it out. What do you want? Eh? You behave yourself. Yeah, you behave yourself. I was a little bit zoomed up. Eh? Nice baby. Yeah, nice baby. Nice baby. Huh. See if I can zoom out here a little bit. That's better. Nothing to hold this phone properly. Every one of those phone holders I bought, they've broken in the cold. So they're just plastic. Mama's chewing away there on the grain like crazy. And this little guy, he's doing fine. I've already banded him already. Castrated him. Put a band on him already, because it's a lot easier on them and on me when they do it right at birth than trying to friggin' catch them and do it later when they're friggin' half wild already. The 2 bulls that were born last late winter, I had a heck of a time to get them. I didn't actually get them banded until late this fall when I gave them their fall booster vaccines for pneumonia and for blackleg and mad cow. And at that I had to rig up a pen, really narrow pen, and build a head gate out of 2x4s and feed them inside there for, oh God, a good month before I could get close without them backing up, pulling their head out, so before I could close it. Even at that, the black one there, I had to put a pulley on the building and friggin' run a long 50-foot rope up through that pulley and tie it onto the 2x4 gate and sit out in a lawn chair 30 feet away and give him grain. And then he went in there and stuck his head, and I let him eat for a few minutes, and then I give the rope a good yank, and the other 2x4 that locks it closed fell down on its hinge. The hinge down and locked it there, and he was trapped. And I was finally able to get him. Yeah. Good stuff, eh, Mom? Is that good stuff? It's a little bit chilly out here today, but it's been amazing weather for this time of year. Last night it was really mild. We've had some cold nights. We've had some